The Ministry of Niger Delta Development (MNDD) was created on September 10, 2008 by former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. The ministry was created to address enormous development issues and challenges, including the perceived sense of exclusion, environmental degradation, poverty and unemployment confronting the Niger Delta region. The ministry was therefore charged with a mandate to serve as the primary vehicle for the execution of government's plans and programs for the rapid socio-economic development of the Niger Delta region. By this mandate, the ministry is to manage, coordinate, promote and initiate development policies, processes and programs in the Niger Delta region in order to ensure security, peace and progress for the people of the Niger Delta.
There be peace, our youths are being controlled in such a way that at least we do not experience any bad situation as it used to have in the past, so that we have maximum production in our area. You know, that is the major source of our economy. And that is the more reason you said the east-west road, which of course is the major road that serves this area. We need to take a look, and we have seen it and discovered it is an answer, and we need to report back to Mr. President. And our president is one man that is ears on the ground and he listens very well. And I've no doubt in mind that when we give him report on what we have seen, action, you begin to see action in a very short time. But the other challenge we have as a ministry is that the East-West Road since 2022 has been handed over to the Ministry of Works for completion. But unfortunately, since then, not a dam, as I've been told, have been budgeted on the road. So we're also fighting to see that it's taken back, so for proper care, so that others in the Ministry of Niger Delta, we can be assured that once it gets back to us, the road will be completed in due course. Because the ministry is a ministry where all the principal actors are from this very region, and they must be committed. Unlike the situation today, if you put it under the Ministry of Works, with the 36,000 network roads we have in the country, you know, it will be very difficult to fully concentrate on this East-West road. So through you too, with your pressure and some other persons, I'm sure we'll all be able to actualize the dream of the region.
The ministry has a responsibility for midwifing the wholesome development of the Niger Delta region, which is made up of the following 9 states: Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo and Rivers states. Achievements. Since its creation, the ministry has contributed immensely to infrastructure development in the region. It has also recorded a great success in economic empowerment through skills acquisition and other support for non-militant youths and women of the region. Perhaps more significant in a national and strategic sense is the ministry's remarkable contribution to the reduction of threat to peace and security in the Niger Delta. This has been achieved in part by constant engagement of stakeholders in initiatives that promote conflict resolution and peace building.
So I think it is very unfortunate that Niger Delta region, which is the economic nerve center of Nigeria, we cannot even access ourselves by road. Well, those of us who are privileged to just fly from where we are to go to anywhere we want to go. But I guess for anybody who wants to travel from here to Port Harcourt, who already begin to Lagos, we find it very difficult. It will be very difficult for us to access those areas because the roads are completely bad. And I'm here to meet with Your Excellency because I know the government will have very strong voice. The challenge we have as a ministry today is that the East-West Road, which is the major road connecting the states in the South, which was awarded far back to the time of Obasanjo in 2006, up to today, has not been completed. And as I'm talking to you now, the role was said to have been reassigned to the Ministry of Works in 2021. And of the places I've visited so far, the governors, the traditional rulers, they are all unanimous that there is no way that we can remain under the purview of the Ministry of Works, and we expect that in the next 20 years that the road will be delivered. For the simple reason that we have so many roads in Nigeria. We are going to have about 36,000 network of roads. You all know in budgeting process, we give money to the ministry, but in time they split it, what goes to the Niger Delta road is very, very small. From that, we also have a vision to serve as the primary vehicle to execute government's plans. You know, the federal government has a number of plans for the Niger Delta, and as a ministry, we are charged with the responsibility to execute such plans and programs for the purpose of developing the region, both economically and otherwise. And we're also into the formulation of both executive plans and programs and other initiatives that can help to coordinate the activities of agencies. There are quite a number of agencies too that focus on the Niger development. And it is from this very ministry that we have to coordinate such agencies for the purpose of the development of the Niger Delta area. For now, the ministry, we have on ground so many projects and programs that are going on.
From inception, the ministry has had 7 ministers. In the 7th position, historically, is the current minister, Honorable Engineer Abubakar Momo, who was appointed into the federal cabinet on August 21, 2023 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who changed the name of the ministry from Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs to Ministry of Niger Delta Development, MNDD.
My coming to the ministry is to work with you for us to be able to deliver on the mandate of Mr. President. You all know the president we have and his agenda, the Renew Hope agenda, we will all key into it. And Niger Delta, as you all know, is very critical and very, very strategic to the economic development of Nigeria. And to that very extent, you can all see for yourself that the ministry has been redesignated from Niger Delta Ministry of Affairs to Niger Delta Development. The implication of that is that everything about the ministry encompasses development of the Niger Delta. And we must brace up to face the challenges. It appears that what used to happen in the past, there will be a little deviation, and we have to go beyond rhetorics to make sure that corporate actions are being achieved. In fact, in general terms, we are looking towards a ministry, or rather a region, where, of course, as it is known, the Niger Delta region, being the economic nerve center of Nigeria, is built around a very peaceful environment. We want a Niger Delta region that is properly secured, a Niger Delta region where the infrastructural system of the place work, unlike what it is today. We need a Niger Delta region where, of course, the economic activities continue to go from state to state. And in order to do that, we also intend to work collaboratively with sister agencies and ministries in order to deliver on our mandates. You all know that as far as the Niger Delta is concerned, now, but in particular that has been redesignated Niger Delta Development, a number of agencies and ministries, we are going to interface with them in order to bring about meaningful development to Niger Delta. Otherwise, what we used to, what we have been seeing these days, is, I think they are not very palatable. And in fairness, I want to say that in terms of infrastructural development, I think we are going to move from the situation it used to be in the past. If we want to build on infrastructure, it has to be very standard, not the type that we have witnessed in some areas. Well, I wouldn't say the present administration. But in the past, we thank God that today we have in Abuja a president that has who listens and who is also very desirous to do everything possible to develop this part of Nigeria. Like I said to other authorities that have visited, I would like to say that the Niger, the East-West Road, which of course we have also been told that the actual name has to change to South-South Road, which I also believe because the governor told us that today, that the best name for the road is South-South, because it's a road that links the 6 states in the South-South Road. And I think as traditional rulers who also have opportunity to meet with higher authorities, who also can voice out their opinion and is held properly, I want to appeal to you too, to put more pressure on the system to see that the East-West Road in the shortest possible time is delivered. The only way by which the East-West Road can be delivered, as I've seen, is to make sure that the project is brought back to the Niger Delta Ministry, because many people are not aware. Because since I took over, many people have been calling, what is happening to the East-West Road? How people are going to complete it this time? But I took my seat and I received the brief. Then I was told that in 2022, early 2022, that the supervision of the road has been moved from Niger Delta Ministry to Ministry of Works. And I need to ask myself, that Ministry of Works, with so many roads they are heading to in Nigeria, if you leave this East-West Road under the Ministry of Works, it will be difficult to get it completed even in the next 10 years.
Roadmap. Since he assumed office as Honorable Minister, Ministry of Niger Delta Development, Engineer Momo has articulated a clear and an unambiguous vision backed with well-thought-out plans to reimagine the development of the Niger Delta region. His makeover vision for the region is based on a pragmatic approach that is designed to leverage on the energy, collaboration and goodwill of relevant stakeholders in the region and in government at the state and federal levels.
As Minister of Niger Delta and as the ministry is concerned, we believe this time around we need to get our hands together. We need to collaborate with the governors of the state in order to bring about development and peace to the Niger Delta region. Without peace, there can't be meaningful development. And in order to guarantee peace, there's no way the governors of the state will not play a prominent role. And that is the more reason we feel that we have to move to the states and have serious discussion with stakeholders. And we are talking of stakeholders. Number one stakeholder in the state is the governor. We talk of the traditional rulers. And I have no doubt in mind that as one person who has also been in government for quite a long time, the issue of peace and security is paramount, and you know it better, just like every other person. And for us, we are asked to carry out the assignment of Mr. President, the Renew Hope agenda, with 8 presidential priorities of Mr. President, which have no doubt in mind that if such priorities of Mr. President are fully pursued to the letter, Nigeria will be better than it is. We'll be talking of anti-corruption, fighting corruption in such a way that the kind of problem we have in Nigeria today will be reduced. We'll be talking of free access to capital. We'll be talking of security, full security, fairness, and rule of law. All of these put together are the 8th presidential priority of Mr. President, which of course every minister is expected to focus on. And by the grace of God, we pursue them to the letter as far as we are concerned in the Ministry of Niger Delta Development.
Engineer Momo said his vision and plans for the Niger Delta would be benchmarked by the mandate of the MNDD within the overall framework of the Renewed Hope agenda of the present administration.
We try to focus on that seriously so that if you want to build 1 kilometer network road. Let that 1 kilometer be 1 kilometer that can last for the next 30 years. So we cannot continue as it used to be in the past. I think this has to be made known and made clear to all those who are involved, because we shall be actively involved in the supervision of the projects, and those of you in the directorate whose responsibility is to see that the right thing is done. You just have to brace up and make sure that we live up to the expectation of Mr. President. I think we are nothing short of this is being expected of us. And by the grace of God, working with you and see to your welfare, I'm sure we'll be able to deliver on the vision and mission of the ministry. Like I said the other day, for those of you who have ever visited the interior of the Niger Delta, I'm sure you'll be very much amazed that human beings live in this area. And apart from those interior, even those in the upper land, we don't have accessible roads. The roads are bad. Like I said, the LMA junction up to the refinery and petrochemicals area, you cannot even access that road. And Mr. President has a vision. And he has already said that all the refineries will be made functional in a very short time. If the refineries are reactivated, where is the road to evacuate the products? It becomes a problem. And whoever is in charge of that road, whether it's the ministry or outside the ministry, I think we find seriously to make sure that that road is properly delivered up to standard. And so many other infrastructures in the Niger Delta. We jointly work together to deliver Mr. President's programs and policies to the people of Niger Delta. You all know that when Niger Delta is peaceful, the Nigerian economy will keep going. And it's because today you can see that the production of oil is very low, and that is why we are having serious challenges in terms of dollar and the rest of them. I remember in those days of Obasanjo and Jonathan, we used to produce up to 2.something billion million barrels. But today, they'll be talking of burning 1 million, which is grossly low. So we do everything possible to enhance the peace and security of the Niger Delta, and that is to say that we also going to work in collaboration with so many other government agencies in order to actualize this very noble objective.
The Honorable Minister has emphasized the imperative for peace and security in the region as the bedrock for the translation of the ideals of the Renewed Hope Agenda into a lived experience for all of the Niger Delta region.
The focus of this administration is how to get the Niger Delta developed, for development to take place. We first of all focus on infrastructure and how to bring about peace and security of the area.
Once peace and security are guaranteed, according to the minister, the renewal process in the Niger Delta will center on making sure that the region enjoys the full benefits of 1. Collaboration between the Ministry of Niger Delta Development and the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, along with other relevant stakeholders, to fast-track implementation of the Host Community Trust Fund in line with the Petroleum Industry Act. 2. Enhanced drive to develop the region's entire agriculture value chain from small-scale through medium to large-scale industrial agro-processing. 3. Accelerated environmental cleanup using environmental-friendly technologies. 4. A well-calibrated harmonization of the various development plans targeted at the accelerated development of the region. 5. A timely completion of all ongoing infrastructure projects under the supervision of the ministry. 6. A well-developed and efficiently managed high-impact program for empowerment and mass employment of youths and women in the region. 7. The deployment and operation of electronic content management system in the region. 8. implementation of the personnel performance management system of the federal government to promote accountability and transparency in the service. 9. Regular communication with citizens through stakeholders forum to inform and engage the people in the activities of government, from where feedback could be obtained for adjustment where need be in future engagement for improved performance.
This is the major area, like we said, that we need your input, is youth and women training. When they are trained and they are empowered, by the time you train some of our youths and women and they are empowered, they can also establish and be on their own in such a way that the problem of youth restiveness and insecurity will now be minimized. I've also talked of technology before, skills, technological skills development, where you can provide training to our youth in the area of solar installation. Talk of minor things like phone repairs and computer repair. These are things people believe are not important, but they are quite enormous, so that if we have people that are trained in this area, it will help to take so many of our youths from the streets. Then agricultural training, is very key. I'm happy that one of the thematic area of this very administration is food security. Of the 8 presidential priority, food security is one of them, and security of life and properties is also one of them, which of course is the ground norm of any administration that want to succeed. Must make sure focus on security of lives and property. And of course, this administration is also committed to ending poverty, and in doing that to focus more on anti-corruption, so that we help to reduce wastages in our system, because that has been the bane of the development in our nation. By the time we end up reducing wastages through corruption and the rest of them. And of course, this government is also very much committed. Fairness and rule of law is one of the areas, thematic area, and also we talk of inclusivity and access to capital. I think these are the 8 areas, presidential priorities, which of course in a very short time, every ministry will be mandated to focus on if we must have an even development and in the next 4 years.
The end game. The overall objective of taking a second and more critical look at the development of the Niger Delta region in the light of the philosophy and ideals of the renewed hope agenda of the federal government is to lay a solid foundation for the transformation of the Niger Delta into a regional economic hub that would be known for industrialization that creates jobs and democratizes prosperity, an economy that is famous for quality service delivery, where the people enjoy a high standard of living. The ultimate goal of the re-imagined Niger Delta is to create a regional economy of our collective dream, where peace, security and prosperity, as espoused in the renewed hope agenda, will be the common destiny of everyone in the region.